Hi, everybody. This is Fred Bruin with Remax Parkside Real Estate. I'd like to share some information with you today regarding the housing bubble and a possible recession. The definition of a recession is 6 contiguous months of negative GDP. Certainly the second quarter, 3 months, we're going to have negative GDP based on the economy being a near shutdown with the coronavirus. If it extends into the third quarter, fourth quarter, then yes, we will be in a recession. But what's going to happen to the housing market? Is that housing bubble going to burst as we go into another recession, a long overdue recession? Well, my response is we don't have a bubble today, and let me share some information with you that leads me to feel this way. I have some slides I'd like to share. First one, what's happened in the last 5 recessions. Of course, we know the 2008 recession was a big hit on real estate, and it was definitely apparent by the lack or the loss of property values during that period. But in the 4 other previous recessions, we can see we had 3 of them actually still continue to have positive property value appreciation, and then 1991 we just lost a modest 2% of property value. Okay, so this recession doesn't necessarily mean a loss in property values. Another indicator, this is a chart put together by the Mortgage Brokers Association, and it shows the ease or difficulty it is to obtain financing. The normal, it runs around 375 to 400 point index. That's kind of the norm prior to the 2006, 2007, 2008, when we saw the ease in which to get a loan skyrocketed. The higher the number, the easier it is to get a loan. The lower the number, the more challenging or difficult it is to get a financing. You can see it peaked in 2006 at 868.7 points. Very easy to get a loan. Steam them here, get a loan. And as the market started to tank, so did that ease in which it was to get financing, to a point where it got very difficult to get financing. Lending practices tightened up, much more stringent on borrowers' qualifications. And we can see over the last 12 years that lending practices have remained pretty conservative, meaning that today the borrowers out there that have mortgages on their homes are much better qualified to continue making payments on that home, even if things get a little tough, a little tight. The next graph, let's see, where am I here? Okay, let's try this one. In the 6 years leading to the 2008 crash, prior to, we could see property values had significant property appreciation, property value appreciation each and every year. Double digits. That's not a very healthy market. In the most recent 6 years, we see that the property value is still solid, good, sound property value appreciation, but not skyrocketing like that was back before the 2008 crash. Inventory. Balanced market is considered 6 months worth of inventory. In 2007, we had 8.2 months worth of inventory, meaning we had more homes on the market than the demand could absorb. Today, we only have 3.1 months worth of inventory on the market. It's not enough to supply the current demand. So even if we do slip into a recession, a mild recession, properties are still going to sell. We don't have enough to meet the demand that's out there today. How about using your home as an ATM machine? So back in 5, 6, and 7, homeowners took out a whole bunch of home equity loans, totaling $824 billion over those 3 years. They were buying vacations and boats and RVs and not spending that money as productively as they could have. In our most recent 3 years, that practice of using your home as an ATM machine has lessened considerably. And in those 3 years, we're down to $232 billion in home equity loans or money borrowed, leaving the home equity in a much stronger position today. Which leads then into my next slide. 53.8% of homes in America today have at least 50% equity. So that is a very strong number. The market starts to soften. People start experiencing difficult times. It's a lot harder to walk away from 50% or better equity in your home. And you'll do everything you can to keep your home, maintain your home. 37% of homes in America are owned free and clear. And see, people don't have to walk away. They won't walk away from that. In fact, that could be a tool to help them survive through an extended recession. 26.7% of mortgaged homes have 50% equity. So better than a quarter of the homes out there that have one on them are in a very strong equity position. And the last slide I'd like to share, I believe it's this one. Yeah, back in 2006, 25.4% of your income was dedicated to your housing. Today, that number has declined to 14.8% of your income has to be dedicated to housing. And this is mostly a result of lower interest rates, but still, you have more income for the other necessities of life. And it's easier to maintain the housing necessity in life. So I think those slides illustrate what a better position the real estate or housing market is in today versus where it was at in 2006, 7, and 8. If this economic slowdown we're experiencing today is extended out to months and months, the housing market will remain steady. It's on a strong foundation, and there is no bubble to burst. And eventually, we will come out of this economic slowdown, and the market should kick right back into a very active, positive home real estate market. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, or ideas, give me a call over here somewhere. Where to go? There it is. Text, call, email. Appreciate your input. And until next time, thank you.